As we eagerly await the upcoming Superman reboot, theories are flying faster than a speeding bullet. Will this new iteration honor the classic Clark Kent, or introduce a deeper origin story that could reshape everything we know about Earth's greatest hero? Here's a twist that might knock off your glasses. What if Superman wasn't just a comic book creation, but a modern reflection of one of the oldest gods in human history? Horus, the falcon-headed deity of ancient Egypt. Sound far-fetched? Maybe, but digs into the myths, symbolism, and superhero lore, and you will uncover uncanny parallels that suggest Superman didn't just crash land from Krypton, he may have descended from the sands of ancient mythology. Long before comic books or CGI effects, humanity told stories of beings who defied gravity and mortality. Among the pantheon of Egyptian gods stood Horus, also known as Heru, a sky deity with the head of a falcon. Often depicted as a protector, a judge, and a divine avenger, he was the son of Isis and Osiris, born posthumously after Osiris was murdered by his jealous brother Set. Horus's origin story is tragic, noble, and celestial. After his birth, his mother hid him from Set in the marshes of Egypt, waiting for the day he would rise and avenge his father's death. When he grew up, Horus faced Set in an epic battle to reclaim the throne of Egypt. The war raged on with deception, shape-shifting, and divine trials, but in the end, Horus emerged victorious, restoring balance and establishing the line of divine kingship. Sound familiar? Swap marshes for Kansas, Set for Lex Luthor, and you're basically watching Superman's origin story unfold 5,000 years early. One of the more obvious similarities between Superman and Horus lies in their solar connection. Horus was a solar deity often linked with Ra, the sun god. His right eye represents the sun, and he soared through the sky as a symbol of divine watchfulness. Superman, too, is powered by the sun. In fact, his entire physiology thrives under Earth's yellow sun, granting him strength, speed, and heat vision. The recent comics even depict him literally recharging in the sun, much like a divine battery.
Coincidence? I think not!
But if Superman's powers came from a nuclear reactor, the analogy might not stick. The sun is more like a scientific detail. It's mythological shorthand for divinity, life, and power. It's no accident that both Superman and Horus glow under its gaze. The tale of a baby sent away for survival is as old as civilization itself. Moses was floated down the Nile to escape Pharaoh's wrath. Krishna was smuggled across a river to avoid the murderous King Kamsa. Heru was hidden in the Delta marshes safe from Set's grasp. And Kal-El was rocketed away from Krypton as it exploded, landing in the arms of Kansas farmers. These aren't just narrative coincidences, they're archetypes. Carl Jung called them monomyths, universal templates for heroic tales. The child of prophecy sent away to fulfill destiny recurs again and again across cultures. Superman is simply the most modern incarnation. In every version, this child doesn't just survive, they rise, returning stronger to challenge the forces that once threatened them. Here's where things get eerily close. In the comics, Superman dies, more than once. Most famously, in the Death of Superman storyline, he battles the monstrous Doomsday to the death, sacrificing himself to save Earth. He lies in state mourned by the world before returning, resurrected, reborn, or more powerful than before. Sound mythical? It should. In Egyptian lore, Osiris, father of Horus, is killed by his brother Set. Isis resurrects him briefly with powerful magic so that she may conceive Horus. While Osiris never returns fully to life, his resurrection creates the savior figure, Horus, who then defeats the forces of evil. So while it's Osiris who dies, Horus is born of resurrection magic, much like Superman is reborn through sci-fi resurrection chambers. Both carry forward a divine mission after a symbolic death. If you're wondering whether this all means DC Comics intentionally modeled Superman after Horus, the answer is probably not directly. But that doesn't make the connection any less valid. Modern superheroes are the inheritors of mythological archetypes, each echoing traits of ancient beings who stood above mankind. Take lore, pulled straight from Norse legends, Even Batman bears resemblance to tragic heroes like Hercules, a man shaped by trauma, dedicating his life to penance through possible labors. Superheroes don't replace mythology, they continue it. And with each reboot, film, and reimagining, they mirror the storytelling evolution that ancient myths underwent for thousands of years. Let's talk symbolism. Horus's eye, the famous Eye of Horus, is a symbol of protection, healing, and sacrifice. Superman's S, which fans now know stands for hope on Krypton, functions similarly. It's not just a logo, it's a sigil of protection, a beacon of those in danger. Both symbols transcend language, speaking to primal emotions, hope, resilience, guardianship, just as temples depicted Horus with arms outstretched, wings wide, soaring over humanity. Superman is often drawn the same way, hovering above the world, a silent guardian watching from the sky. The visual language of gods and superheroes is surprisingly consistent. This fascination with divine archetypes isn't limited to Superman. Spider-Man mirrors Odysseus, reluctant, clever, drawn into fate by personal loss. Batman channels Achilles and Hercules, tragic, brooding, and burdened by his own darkness. Iron Man is our modern Hephaestus, the armorer, wounded yet brilliant, inventing his way to godhood. Black Panther inherits the mantle of pharaohs, god kings, and tribal protectors. So what should we expect from the new Superman? As anticipation builds for the next chapter in Superman's cinematic saga, one can't help but wonder, will the new film tap into this mythic undercurrent? Zack Snyder's Man of Steel already leaned heavily into Christ-like imagery, portraying Superman as a messianic figure. But there's untapped gold in portraying Superman through the lens of ancient myth. Imagine a film that visually references Horus's flight, the Eye of Ra, or the eternal struggle of light versus chaos. Imagine scenes that reflect not just science fiction but symbolic resurrection, divine justice, and celestial heritage. Superman isn't just a hero anymore, he's our modern Horus, reborn every generation with new meaning. Why do we keep telling the same stories? Because mythology and its spandex-clad offspring teaches us who we are. We see ourselves in these heroes, our grief, our strength, our longing for justice. In Horus avenging Osiris, we find a metaphor for children righting the wrongs of the past. In Superman's endless battle for truth and justice, we're reminded that power must serve the powerless. When you settle into your theater seat to watch the new Superman movie, look beyond the explosions and flight scenes. You're not just witnessing a story about a man in a cape. You're watching the echo of 5,000 years of divine storytelling, from the pyramids to the comic page. And remember, sometimes the most powerful stories aren't the ones we invent, they're the ones we've been telling all along. In the end, maybe Superman isn't just the last son of Krypton. Maybe, just maybe, he's the first son of myth.